Is XDefiant killing COD? The short answer is yes. The long answer is yes, but it's complicated. So, I would be kind of curious to see how this game affects Call of Duty sales, because if I was a betting man, I would say that this game existing is definitely the single biggest threat to Call of Duty sales than anything, right? Activision can fuck up their games all they want, but the truth is, for the longest time, Activision and Call of Duty just did not have any competition. There was no 6v6 multiplayer competition or anything like it. Battlefield couldn't hold a candle because, DICE somehow fumbled fucking 2042. Other shooters that are coming out are usually just BRs or some other, cheap game like the Finals. So essentially there's been nothing to satiate that 6v6 standard classic multiplayer, sort of itch. That is until now. XDefiant came out. It's seriously the best FPS that I think I've played in like a decade. I'd say it's even better than Black Ops 3. I'd say it's better than BO4. I'd say that it's right up there with maybe the original Modern Warfare 3 in terms of like the overall fucking quality factor, the fun factor for me. Like it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not. It's not even anywhere near mid-tier. Like, MW3 for me, just to add context to this, the original MW3 was legitimately a game that I enjoyed the hell out of. I think I've enjoyed it more than the original Modern Warfare 2. That depends. I mean, MW2 was a great game, but MW3 I just liked way more. This game is right up there with it. I think everybody unanimously can agree that this is just an amazing game. There's no arguing anymore. It's just a great game. Call of Duty, on the other hand, the modern Call of Duties that are coming out, are not great. Nobody's having fun over there. The only people that are having fun are cheaters and just absolute bottom of the barrel, like mouth-breathing noobs. And honestly, that's not good. That's not good for Call of Duty. That's actually not. Now, I told people a long time ago when I was making videos about the skill-based matchmaking, the engagement-optimized matchmaking, I was making videos as a form of, protest, almost like, hey, Activision, please remove the system. It's not fun. You're going to kill your game, etc. And I explained why. And one of the reasons was that the lack of variety. Right? I don't care about facing sweats. I always said that. It's not about facing sweats. It's not about facing competition. What it's about is the lack of fucking just variety. When every match is the exact same, the game gets stale really fast. And when you happen to be in a skill bracket where you're facing sweats 24/7, the game not only becomes stressful 24/7, but it becomes stale 24/7 with no variety. And I said that's the reason why I don't like skill-based matchmaking. People didn't believe me. They commented saying, "Oh yeah, that's, yeah, right. You just want to stomp on noobs all day." But I'm like, no, dude. I'm telling the fucking truth. And here we are in XDefiant. No skill-based matchmaking. Of course there's sweats, but I'm enjoying the game more than ever because there's actually fucking lobby variety. When I boot up this game, I'm looking forward to what kind of lobby I might get into. I'm looking forward to using off-meta weapons that I get to rank up and have fun with. I look forward to challenging myself and seeing and kind of gambling how good I do in in these matches. This gameplay you happen to be watching is a high kill gameplay. I think I got 40-something kills and something. I don't fucking remember. It was a high kill gameplay. I might actually trim up some parts just to show the better parts of it. But yeah, I predict that when the new COD comes out, which is going to be Black Ops 6, which I heard a lot of weird rumors about, the potential reduction of skill-based matchmaking, the fact that the game most likely went through a name change, like a last-minute panic name change, just, so they could hopefully use that nostalgia of the word Black Ops to sell the fucking game and shit. When that game finally comes out, I will be genuinely curious to see if Activision will be able to twist and turn the sales figures to make them sound as good as they do every single year. And the context behind that is something I used to talk about in some of my older videos, how I believe that Call of Duty sales have not been that great for a very long time. And Activision uses extremely arbitrary just methods, such as measuring how much sales they get in a specific time frame, or some weird shit about player count. They fucking word salad the hell out of every investor call. So basically, a game that sells poorly, they're still gonna just mark as something that sold great. Example was Cold War. Cold War sales, or actual sales, did not exceed that of Modern Warfare 2019's, which everybody bought because everybody thought it was like a return to like 2009 COD, right? That's how it was marketed. That's what people believed. That's what the leak said. And when Cold War came out, nobody really had much interest in COD. Even though it was a trailer COD, no one really had much interest. People fucking got into Modern Warfare. They're like, you know what? We just got scammed. We're not buying this shit ever again. And you know how Activision twisted their wording with that? Instead of bringing up overall sales, which were down, they instead brought up digital sales during the height of the pandemic, which obviously was going to be higher than other games, because like no one's going out to go buy a physical copy of Black Ops Cold War. They're all buying a digital copy. They instead hyper-focused on that to make it sound like Cold War sold really well. I wonder if Activision can pull the same trick with Black Ops 6. Part of me tells me they obviously will, but another part of me tells me that now that Call of Duty has competition, it's going to be genuinely hard for them to twist some fucking words up like they always do. I think over time, XDefiant will steal more and more of Call of Duty's player base because if Activision doesn't clean up their act, if they do not reduce or entirely remove that engagement-optimized matchmaking and skill-based matchmaking system, they're going to lose all of their players. Everybody's already aware of skill-based matchmaking, right? You could argue that no one knew what it was back in 2019. Most casuals probably just it never crossed their mind that they might be manipulated by an algorithm, but now people know. People are running around in COD with SBMM as their clan tag. I'm sure some casual seen it and searched it up and fucking got educated on what's going on to their little brain. The more people are aware of this shit, and the less Activision does to remove that engagement-optimized SBMM system out of their game, the more people are going to move to XDefiant, because this is clearly the better game. This is better than any COD that's come out since BO3, maybe even BO2, or maybe even MW3, the original, from 2011. Another point that I'd like to bring up as well before wrapping up this video are the developers themselves, right? I've ran into multiple people in this game that have UBI in their name, which stands for Ubisoft. It's just short for Ubisoft. And I think they might be developers. I could be wrong. Could just be someone putting that in their name. But if these are developers, this kind of reminds me of like old school COD developers. They used to play their own game too, right? And they stopped playing their own game after like BO3. They just pushed whatever the fuck out, would just fill quotas for X amount of guns added, X amount of things added, supply drops, item bundles, whatever the fuck. They were just simply filling a quota, not really beta testing shit, and this is obvious and way more obvious in newer CODs. Guns released that are absolutely busted that are in the battle pass, maybe intentionally, I don't know. Balance changes come out that break the game, just routinely. When you look at a game like XDefiant, the developers clearly play their own game, they clearly have passion for their own game, and they actually clearly give a fuck about the community, which Activision and the COD developers haven't for a very long fucking time. This is honestly in part why this game is stealing so many people away from COD. These devs care. They actually listen. Mark Rubin, for example, if you don't follow him on Twitter already, he basically just gives updates, he talks to the community, he responds to people's questions pretty often. He's a community guy. This reminds me how fucking COD used to be back in 2012. You could actually go contact a developer, and the likelihood of them replying to you was pretty fucking high, or at least seeing your post or your tweet. It's like that in this game today. And that to me means everything in terms of the trajectory of where this game is going and where Call of Duty is going. So I guess we'll see where this goes, where Call of Duty goes, how much sales they get, how many players they actually trick into buying their game. And I'm genuinely curious, so I'm going to leave this video off here. If you want more XDefiant videos, definitely subscribe and leave a like. I mean, you don't have to, but, you know, it might help if you do. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.